Premier League prediction time. Obviously, first time really doing this. Don't really do this often at all, or you can only do it once a year to be fair. But I did obviously a World Cup prediction, and I thought, that was a bit of fun. Why not do a Premier League prediction? Obviously, an Arsenal fan, maybe a bit biased in there, but listen, I'm going to try be as unbiased as I possibly can. I have to admit there's a few maybe biased predictions in there because teams I like, teams I don't like, but obviously there is logic. Obviously, I watch a lot of the Premier League. I like to consider I have very good knowledge of it, but obviously we have to wait and see at the end of the season. Listen, I'm not going to get everything right. I doubt I'll get most things right because there's always a surprise. Somebody might flop, somebody will do great. Have to wait and see. But yeah, listen, may as well get straight into it. We'll start off from the bottom, then go to the top. Bottom of the league, I have gone with Hull City. To be honest, I don't know a lot about them, but obviously they came off with via the playoffs last season. Even in that playoff final, I believe, I can't even remember who they beat. I think it was Middlesbrough, wasn't it? Because of that Southampton thing. And even then, it was a pretty poor game. And the only reason they won it in the end was a goalkeeper mistake. In that final, I wasn't impressed. I've looked at the squad. They've made a few additions, obviously, but even that squad, I'm thinking it's just not good enough. Even if it's not dead last, I can't see them making it out of the league, to be honest. I think they're going to go straight back down. And I've got Hull City bottom of the league, obviously. Again, there's loads of surprises, loads of everything, but when you see the quality of the Prem, I think Hull, in my opinion, will finish bottom. 19th, I'm going with Ipswich Town. I don't know if I'm being a bit harsh here because they have made a few decent signings. I think they got somebody. I think they want Palacios. He looks okay from Leverkusen. And obviously, I think they're going to try getting Ciso. We don't know if they're going to get these guys. And again, these obviously, anything can change because transfers are happening. So maybe somebody can make a transfer on deadline day and that changes everything. So, but obviously, this is before the Premier League kicks off, but that could change things. But yeah, Ipswich. They're a bit better. Obviously, lost their manager as well, and yeah, again, just I look at the squad, just don't think it's quite up there. But I think they'll put up maybe a better fight than Hull. To be honest, I think Hull, and I think there'll be a big gap between 20th and the rest. I'll be honest. 18th, I have gone with Coventry. And that's obviously all three promoted teams going straight back down. I think Coventry will go down, but I think they'll put up a good fight. I think this will be the team that maybe just about goes down on the final day or maybe final few match weeks. Lampard obviously has done a very good job with them. They did very, very well in the league, actually. And they've made a few good signings. I think I can't remember the guy. He was from abroad, but they got a Wonyi from Forest. I quite like that signing. I think he might do quite decent there if he can stay fit because injury issues and all that. Admittedly, I have not watched a lot of these three promoted teams, but I've just looked at the squads. And when you compare that Premier League experience, just the quality of players compared to everybody else in this league who've been there and done it for years, I just don't think. Again, I really wish I'm wrong here because I've gone with the three promoted teams to go straight back down. I really hate when this happens. I really hope I am wrong here, and I want at least one of them to stay up. Obviously, last season we had Leeds and Sunderland staying up. I was very happy about that. So I'm hoping I'm wrong here. I don't think I will be though. I just don't rate these three teams high enough. If one team will stay up, I think it will be Coventry, but again, that'll be tight. But I've gone all three of them going straight back down. Just don't think the quality is enough to stay in the league. From obviously these ones, I'm not going to talk a lot of detail on from 17th onwards, but 17th I've gone with Leeds. Retained most of the squad, I believe. Obviously, Daniel Farke still done a good job. I think there'll be probably another relegation race, but I think they will stay up due to I just think guys like Okafor, Calvert-Lewin, Premier League experience. Just the guys I think they're gonna. They have a better team than Coventry, etc. I think they'll be okay. Sunderland, I've got in 16th. Interesting one because obviously last season they got Europa, did they get Europa? Yeah, they got Europa League, and that's a big reason why they did brilliantly. But that's why I've kind of got them 16th. I think it's going to be a mixture of maybe second season syndrome, how when you have a top season you kind of fall off a bit. I don't think it's going to be that bad that they get relegated, but I thought towards the latter part of the season they were maybe just about hanging on and weren't playing as well in my opinion, even though they did get some okay results. But I think that Europa League will hurt them a bit. Obviously, do they have the squad, the experience to do Thursday, Sunday? That's going to be very difficult for them. So I think that will really impact their league form, which is why I have them in 16th place. 15th, I've got Crystal Palace. Again, they are in the Europa League too by winning the Conference League. Kind of same logic as Sunderland. I think these teams don't really have the what's the word, depth to go Thursday, Sunday, and still have a very strong league campaign. And obviously, Palace lost their manager. They've lost a few players, but they've still won the Conference League after that. I don't think they've lost anybody apart from that. They've looked as this moment in time. They've kept Ismail Assar. They've kept Adam Wharton. These are good players, so that's why I think they won't be in a relegation race. But I can see like a 15th place, and if they can win Europa, I think they'll take that. 14th, I've got with Newcastle. This could be an interesting one because Newcastle, people expected them to do very bad this season, which means they could even be good. That's how football works. I've got them 14th, though. I don't think they'll be as bad as relegation, but listen, we all know the situation. Losing players throughout the season. They've lost Tonali, they've lost Bruno Guimaraes, obviously. Anthony Gordon as well. They could even, I think they have an injury to Joe Linton. They could lose some more players. Lewis Hall, will he stay? Will he go? Their manager left during pre-season. It's just a massive mess over there at Newcastle, man. Even their pre-season doesn't look positive either. And listen, I don't know how good this new manager is, but this is football works. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle finished maybe 9th or 10th or something like that because you expected them to do bad and they do well. So that's what I've gone with. But I think 14th, mid-table, and then maybe next season they could try to get back up there. But I think so far, not great. And for their transfers, they've made a few additions. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I've gone with them for 14th. I don't think it's going to be a complete capitulation with a fighting relegation, but I think it'll be around the 14th mark. 13th, Fulham. Classic mid-table team, not good enough for European places, not good enough for relegation. They've not really bought anybody massive, but they've not lost anybody massive. That's kind of the story of Fulham's season, and for years, to be honest. They have lost their manager though. Marco Silva did go. He was a very solid Premier League manager. They have got Arbeloa. Again, no idea about Arbeloa. We just saw him at the end of Madrid there, so this is a new, obviously, test for him. I think he'll do okay. I think it'll just be mid-table. Classic Fulham. That's what I've got there. 12th place, I have got Brentford. Again, last season, everybody kind of thought they would go down. I didn't, but I thought they'd be close, but they've stayed up very comfortably. Here, kind of the same season. I don't think they'll be as strong. Igor Thiago, second season, will he be able to replicate or get near what he did last season? The wingers are pretty inconsistent, but kind of like the other teams. They've not lost anybody absolutely massive, but they've not bought anybody absolutely massive. So just kind of the same thing, same manager, and I think it'll be like a steady Eddie season for Brentford yet again, but I don't think they'll be near relegation. 11th, I've gone Nottingham Forest. Quite a big jump because obviously last season they were nearish the relegation zone. I think that's probably got to do with the Europa League as well, but obviously this time they've got no European football, which I think will probably help a team like Forest. They have lost Elliot Anderson. He was a massive player for them. Obviously that's a big blow, but I think they've got two big gains. One, keeping Morgan Gibbs White as it stands. If they lost him, I changed that prediction, but as it stands, they've got him, and I think he's a massive player. They've managed to keep him, which is good. And they've got Oliver Glasner. I think that is a top managerial appointment. I think that Forest team will do very well in the back five. I think he can get the best out of the attackers on the counter-attack too. They've got fast players, so I think Glasner will do very well, get the best out of their players, and not very well that they'll get maybe, European football, but I think 11th place, I think they'll stay up comfortably and have a pretty solid season, Nottingham Forest, so that's what I've gone with there. 10th place, Bournemouth. Again, they had high last season. They have got Europa League. How much will they struggle with that? They did lose Iraola, that's the thing, so that's a big blow. How much will that affect them? They did get Marco Rose, I believe. He was manager of Mönchengladbach. I think he's actually okay. And I've gone with 10th. I've gone with Steady Eddie. I don't think they've lost anybody absolutely massive. They've, as of now, again, I keep saying that, they've kept Groupie Jr. Oh, that's probably because of injury. They've kept, obviously, they lost an but they kept Truffert and Alex Scott. That's him as well. They've kept him so far. So they've kept the main big guys, and these are quality players, man. So again, it could be a situation where maybe they fall further down the table because of the Thursday-Sunday effect. That could be it. Maybe 10th is a bit generous, but I've still gone with that because I still rate their players highly. 9th, I've gone with Brighton. To be honest, I don't think European football will fit them as much because they play Conference League. I think they'll probably end up winning that. The English teams are just like far superior to everybody else in that league. And yeah, I think they can play like a C team and still walk through that, to be honest. And yeah, I think that's not going to affect them a lot till like the latter rounds. And again, we all know, I think again, kind of same old. Brighton. They're going to win some games by massive margins, and they're going to lose some games by some massive margins as well. Yeah, Hertzler, kind of similar, loves playing out from the back, etc., etc. And yeah, I think they'll get ninth. Could they get further? Maybe, but I put them there. This is maybe probably the most controversial take out of all of them. I'll be honest, these predictions are pretty boring, nothing outstanding here. Maybe this is the biggest shout. Everton, I've put in eighth. Now, I'm not exactly sure the proper reasoning, to be honest, but I just have a feeling. I think that'll probably be Europa League or Conference League. I think they may actually get European football. They've got Moyes. Obviously, he's done it before with West Ham. He's got them further up the table, so he's experienced in doing this. Again, they've not lost anybody. Iliman and Jai, they've kept him so far, and I think, that's very, very good. I rate him as a top player. That Tyreek George has looked very promising so far. James Garner, I'm a big fan of. I actually like bits of their squad. They've got Brennan Johnson. I'm not sure about that. That was that swap deal. And I just have a funny feeling about Everton this year. No proper logic. Again, I'll probably be wrong about this, and they'll finish mid-table like they always do. But I just have a feeling about Everton this season. I think they might get Europa League football, or a form of Europe, to be honest, because I like the squad. I like their manager. I just have a feeling about Everton this year, man, and I think they're going to sneak into that European spaces. I'll probably be wrong, and they'll probably finish mid-table, but listen, little shout out there. I have a feeling about Everton this year. And the top seven, you can see seventh place. I'm kind of even mixing and matching about it. I've changed it a few times. I've gone with Tottenham seventh. I was going to put them maybe in the top 5, top 6, but I think I'm 17th to maybe that, to Europa League. Well, this is Europa League to be fair, but to Champions League, not sure about that. Obviously, they're not. I don't think they'll fit. Listen, I said this last time. Actually, I don't think they'll finish 17th, and they did. Listen, they've got a new manager, De Zerbi. I rate him. I like him. He plays some good football. Maybe not the best defensively, but they're going to score some goals. Transfers, they've made some good ones. Obviously, market's not over. They're linked to Gakpo and Savinho. I think they need to improve that attack, to be honest. And if they do, maybe they can get further. Tonali and Fernandes, I think they've overpaid for them, but I think those are two good players, to be honest. And yeah, Van Heck, he looks like a good addition. They've sold Romero, they've kept Mickey van der Ven. So I think they've made some nice changes. I think De Zerbi will help them out with their style of play as well. Have to wait and see. Obviously, like James Maddison, Kudus, Simons is still coming back from injury or are still injured. So if they can get back, how will they return? If they return well, maybe they'll get further. So Spurs are a situation where I think 7th will probably be the minimum in my honours. I wouldn't be surprised to see them a bit further forward, but I think they need things to go with them, transfers and fitness, etc. But I've gone with 7th. Maybe not awful because they were 17th, but I don't know, maybe you have to think a bit more of them considering they've spent quite a bit of money. 6th place, I've gone with Man United. This is more of, to be honest, I really don't like Man United. I know loads of people who are United fans, cousins, brothers, etc., and they're just so, over the top, which is why I just really don't like them. So maybe that plays a part in it. But I'm not really moved by their transfer window. Third last season, they got Carrick, they appointed him full time, fair enough, but you have to back him. I'm not sure they've done that properly. Again, there's still time in the window. Maybe they make a couple of additions which make me think, oh, hang on, maybe they'll get further than 6. But as of now, they've lost Casemiro, brought on Tielemans, good player, Santos, unknown, and that's really it. And I'm expecting a lot more from Man United. They got injuries. I saw a clip, actually, a screenshot, where current back four is the same as 4 years ago. Like, their attack, one thing I will say, their attacking depth is pretty good. They've got good options. Rashford coming back, Cunha, Sesko and Bremo, Amos, etc. Bruno is obviously still there. But the defence, I don't really rate. Midfield, I'm not sure. Again, they're not going to be playing one game a week. How will they adapt to that? Again, they've done it before, but I mean from last season. So I've gone with 6th, but if they were to make a couple of additions, maybe they could be 4th or 5th. But as of now, I have put Man United 6th. Again, maybe that's just because I don't like them and I've been a bit biased there, but I'm trying to think logically too. 5th place, I've gone with Aston Villa. I think Unai Emery will probably get Champions League football again. Yes, they have got Champions League football this season, but I don't think that's going to affect them massively because I don't think they'll probably go super far, and I don't think they'll have one game a week for ages. And they've still got some very good players. Obviously, they have lost Morgan Rogers, big player, Yuri Tillemans, big player. They've kept Onana though. I think they will keep Konsa. Obviously, Arsenal interested. I think they'll keep him. They've got Watkins, etc. Few players getting on a bit. I think they made a few good signings. I like Manzambi to be honest. But yeah, so I have gone with Villa fifth. I just think they're a more consistent team than the other guys at the moment, and maybe one game a week, more than one game a week. I think they've got a bit more depth, to be honest. So I have gone Villa fifth. Again, that could be an interesting one. I would not be surprised to see them maybe a bit further down the table because of that Champions League. Maybe I have been a bit generous there, but I'm going to stick with Villa in fifth place. Recording this next day, I think I'm going to swap Man United and Villa, to be honest, because Man United, since I've recorded that, they've signed Baleba. I think that's a good signing. Maybe not been as good as he was recently, but he's still a good profile to have at least. And Villa, they've obviously lost their Ezri Konsa to Arsenal. So Man United and Villa, I'm going to swap. I'm going to swap their positions, but that's about it. I'll keep the rest of my predictions there. The top four, this is difficult. Fourth place, again, I'm still not sure, but I'll stick with it. Fourth, I've gone with Liverpool. I've seen a bit of mixed opinions about Liverpool. People saying they think Liverpool's going to be great. Some people think they're going to be awful. I'm kind of going with this on the basis I think they'll get Barcola and Mbaye. If they get neither, then maybe I should be dropping them down. But I think they will get them, so I'm kind of making that prediction on that. One thing as well, they obviously have Champions League, but I don't think their depth is great. I've seen a picture of their squad. Defensive depth isn't, up there. Attacking depth, maybe not quite there if they sell Gakpo or Ekitike is injured. So I'm not quite sure in Liverpool. I really like their manager. Kind of like De Zerbi, I don't think they're going to be great defensively, but I think they will score some very good goals and play some lovely football. Obviously, Isak coming back, that's big. They have lost some big players in Kanate and Salah, though. So for every positive, it's kind of like a negative. I have put them fourth, though, just because I still think they have a bit of quality, and I really like Iraola, and I think he will get them fourth. But that's a difficult one. That could, depending on the window, that could maybe go up to third, maybe second, but that could also drop down to maybe seventh or eighth, to be honest. So Liverpool fourth is a risky one. I put them there, though. I have to wait and see. Top three. Third place, I have gone with Chelsea. I was thinking maybe second, but I've stuck with third. Obviously, new manager in Xabi Alonso had a horrible season last season. Obviously made some good signings. I don't know too much about Palestra, but like somebody like who's that Palace centre back? Lacroix. They've got him. He might be a good player for them. They've got Morgan Rogers, overpaid massively, obviously, but he's still a very good player, Rogers. They might even get more, depends if they sell Enzo Fernandez as well or not. I have to wait and see. But Chelsea, very interesting one. I really like Xabi Alonso as a manager, and I think that Chelsea team as a back three will do very well. And again, one game a week. I think they've got lots of quality, good depth for one game a week. And I think they're going to do well, Chelsea. They've still got Caicedo, still got good options there. And I just have a feeling about Chelsea this year. I think they're going to get, I don't think they'll be on the title race, but I think they'll get a solid third place, like comfortably third. If they can pick up a cup along with that, that would be a good season for them. But yeah, third place. I just have a feeling about Chelsea. I really like Alonso. I like some of the signings. Their squad, João Pedro's obviously there. They've got quality, man. They have got quality. And again, one game a week. That's a big thing as well. So I've gone with Chelsea third. Final two. I think everybody knows who I'm going to go with this. Manchester City second. Arsenal first. Man City second, first of all. People, after that Community Shield has been played, some people are saying, Man City are falling off. David Moyes 2.0, they're going to be top four. I wouldn't go that far. Yes, they've lost Rodri to Barcelona. That is massive because he's an unbelievable player. And they've lost Pep Guardiola, unbelievable manager. But they've still got quality, man. Like, the defence is still got good depth there. Guehi, Cavadio, Diaz, you got O'Reilly, Nori, Kusanov. You got good depth. Midfield, yes, there's no Rodri. They could get Enzo Fernandez. They're likely to get Biadi. They've got Elliot Anderson. And they've still got some good options. Attacking, again, Doku, Semenyo, Foden, Cherki, and of course they've got that absolute robot, Erling Haaland. So they've still got a solid team, man. And to be honest, the main reason I'm putting in second is really Erling Haaland. He's just a robot. He'll score a ridiculous amount of goals that I don't think that's, poor enough to drop out the top two, maybe top three. I don't think they'll finish lower than third. But I think they will stay second, to be honest. Again, more than one game a week like everybody else, but they're used to that. Yep, downgrading manager, downgrading the midfielder. They've lost two all-timers, really, in the manager, Pep, and player Rodri. But I still think they're going to they're going to drop off a bit, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be a massive drop off where they're out the top four or anything. So I'm going City second, and of course, call it bias. I'm going to say Arsenal first. I think Arsenal will go back to back. Just I think they're favourites, and rightly so. Everybody else in that top six has changed their manager, apart from Arteta. We're the most sustainable team, most like team has been together. The players have been together. Signings wise, maybe I want a bit more because attacking wise and defender wise, but Zolas looks good. Bruno Guimaraes is a top signing, and we have superb depth, man. Yes, the attack is a bit meh, I will admit, but the goalkeeper's elite. Defensive depth is elite. Midfield depth is probably the best in the league. So our depth, our quality, I think it's just better than everybody else's. With the manager who's been here the longest, or you would think he would know the team more than everybody else does, while everybody else is adapting. And I just think, again, we should. People saying, well, we ran away with it. Maybe, maybe not. But I do think we will go back to the back for the first time in Premier League history, actually. Again, everybody's saying Arsenal will win it. So maybe there's a shock on the cards. Maybe somebody else could win it. But I mean, if Arsenal got Vinicius Junior, I'd say wrap up the league now, but not quite. But I think we will end up retaining it. Hopefully, I'm spot on there. I have to wait and see. But I think if you go logic, manager who kept the longest, same squad for the longest, less turnover, best depth as well, in my opinion. Have to wait and see. Hopefully, we can win a couple of more if we win the league as well. But yeah, I'm going with Arsenal to win the league. So there you go. Those are my Premier League predictions. Obviously, Golden Boot and Golden Glove. Pretty simple. Golden Boot, I'm going Erling Haaland. Really, anything else to say? Best goal scorer in the league, one of the best scorers of all time, just a freak of nature. Only thing that'll stop him is injuries. And Golden Glove, David Raya, Arsenal best defence in the league. We know how good we are defensively. Again, Raya, quality goalkeeper. I've gone with the two most boring options there, but I think that will most likely happen. But yeah, you saw there not really any shocks like, wow, how's he done that? Maybe Man United being a bit lower down and Everton getting Europe. Those are probably the main two shocks, if you can call it that. Other than that, pretty bog standard predictions. Have to wait and see if I'm right, but I probably won't be because, listen, the Premier League's anything. Maybe Arsenal could fall off more than anybody thought. Maybe, I don't know, Newcastle will be better and maybe get top six. Like, again, the Premier League's the Premier League, man. You never know what's going to happen. But that's what I've gone with, man. Let me know what you guys think. I've had a stinker, have I not? Yeah. So I just hope I'm mainly right about also winning the league. That's the main thing. But yeah, I have to wait and see how close or far away I am. But those are my Premier League predictions. And yeah, I have to wait and see how badly I've done or how well I've done at the end of the season.